Then he decides to pull guard, right? Terrible pull guard, by the way. Terrible pull guard. Do not pull guard by laying flat on your back. Subscribe, mother looker. I hope that's not too loud. That is my wife, who loves me very much. So I felt so weird coming up in here, like being on this big platform is much very different than doing a regular tournament, being like the focus of the whole thing, also being up in this cage. The cage was so soft, much more soft than I expected. Really great feel. It's like a cloud that's on top of a board. That's the closest thing I can explain it to you. So I'm hopping around, but I was like kind of weird. It was kind of weird to come out to my own music, to my own name being called, everybody focus on me, applauding specifically me. Very different kind of vibe, but I enjoyed it. Here, my opponent, I've been in 2 tournaments with him. Jiu-Jitsu of Atlanta, Georgia, at Monday Night Garage, which he beat me. And then also my first tournament ever, Tap Cancer Out 2024 Spring Open, happened in May. He took gold medal and I took bronze. We didn't have a match then, but in that sense, he beat me. So I was really looking forward to going up against him again. And here we go. So I'm just trying to fill it out. He Uchimata me, got 2 points in the last one, so I was aware that he had a decent stand-up game. I wasn't so aware of how, and he pulls guard, I wasn't so aware of his grips on me, just made me feel so out of place. Now, I lost the match when it comes to standing up in my stand-up game, in that he had great inside control and I didn't really have answers for it. And that's important in jiu-jitsu. No matter what position you're in, you need to have an answer and you need to be familiar and have some mat time in every position. So whether it's grips, standing up, grip standing down, whatever position it is, you should be familiar with. Because obviously, if you're familiar with something that your opponent is not, or at least you know a lot more than your opponent does on this position, you have a huge advantage. You've seen it so many times, and we just don't stand up a lot in my gym just because it's not a lot of space and it's a lot of folks attend our gym. But anyway, it was very surprising to me that he pulled guard. And for me, I play great guard. For this whole year, I've been working nothing but guard. This is my second year, going into my second year, the end of my second year doing jiu-jitsu. And from the beginning of 2025 till now, all I've been working is guard, and I've advanced a whole lot. So I felt very comfortable in this position. But I was surprised that he pulled guard. And I'll say a good meta for you, don't pull guard in a match. Make your opponent work for his takedown, or otherwise they're going to like drop to the ground themselves. And I, as good as I am at playing guard, I love to play top game because I just feel like it's so much more efficient to play top and get points than it is to play bottom. But anyway, so I'm trying to go for like a leg drag type movement here, and he gets K guard sort of like position on me. Throws in a De La Hiva now, but I'm snagging on to this leg. I'm not letting it go. I'm trying to get in a good headquarters position, find my balance. But if you'll notice here, I'm getting my grips and I'm finding my balance, looking for a knee cut. But what I saw was this dang cage was not spacious enough to like do jujitsu. So if you ask me, not my favorite way to do jujitsu. Rather a flat mat where we have more space to roll around in. Right? Because I wasn't able to do a lot of my knee cut passes or a Toriando or um, knee smashes or anything. He tried to take me there for Uchimata. Let me show you a different point of view. So, right, he pulled guard, goes into his De La Hiva. I push his leg down, and I step into a like a headquarters type movement. I think it is a very good idea to push the person's feet off of your hips and get closer to them. If you have their feet out of the way, they cannot push on you. They cannot control distance very well without giving up space under their arms, right? They might be able to push on you with their hands, but they lose the ability to defend their between their armpit and their hip, which underhooks and attacks come from getting your limbs away from your body. So I could have just dropped into my knee cut here, grabbed his hand here that's on me, and kicked my leg in that direction. That would have got rid of his grip that's on me right here. That would have got rid of that. My hand here, my left hand, should have grabbed on his sleeve as well. I like to grab at the elbow and pulled him up. My right hand, which is on his collar here, should have pushed him that way, gotten his back flat on the ground, and then I should have brought my knee, my bottom knee here. I should have sat it right on his thigh and then did my knee cut this way. If he continues to just keep his hand here on me, it's leaving it open for a Kimura, a armbar, or even a underhook to even secure the path. So yeah, right there you see I like pulled him away from the gate because I had no space. And I guess I would have probably done some more passing, whether it was a leg drag, a knee weave, or a knee cut pass. I even think at that point I actually thought about doing a long step back in this direction, but I just didn't feel like comfortable in that position. I didn't have a lot of space, hence why you see me drag him over. I'm not too worried about him gripping my foot here on this side because I have good balance and I have control of his bottom leg. Got a good grip on his collar on this side. I feel comfortable, which he doesn't want me to be comfortable, but I am. Um, I did try to scoop up his hand, trying to open his legs. And he just stands back up. When he stood back up in the match, I was kind of like disappointed in myself. But during matches, I always have a level headed mind. I'm never really trying to jump too fast on things. You know, if it wasn't a part of my plan, and it doesn't come necessarily just innately, I'm not too worried about it. I think at this point, one of my coaches was saying, jump a triangle, jump a triangle, jump an armbar, jump an armbar. It didn't come naturally to my mind while we were rolling, so I didn't jump for it. So I noticed right here, like rewatching the video, I like how he's very calm. I think this is a must for a blue belt to develop that skill during rolling, to be calm, cool, collected, having a plan, not being overwhelmed, being focused on the flow of this roll. What is my opponent trying to do? Is he trying to pull? Is he stalling? Is he trying to take me down? I know that he has a good stand-up game just by his grips. And I can tell as he's pulling me that he's trying to get my leg to step forward. If you pay attention to this pull right here, right? Right here, he tries to pull my right leg forward and I didn't do that. So you got to be aware of what people are trying to do. That'll help your tactics as you're rolling. So don't just focus on what you want to do. Also focus on, his grips and what he's trying to do. Right? This was terrible on my part, falling down. I think that gave him points. And I got to really work on that. I think it's very lucrative, not lucrative. I think it's very attractive to pull guard when you play well at guard, and I'm trying to work on that part of my game. But I'm pretty good at taking advantage of people trying to take me down. I'm pretty good at takedowns, but I'm really good at taking advantage of them, and that's what I did at this point. I knew he was trying to do like a Uchimata or a drop Seonagi as he did there, which I almost took his back from him. He did a really good job of keeping my sleeve. But what I don't like is that I just conceded to stay on the ground, that I conceded to play guard because I'm really comfortable playing guard. I got a wide range of things that I do, from collar sleeve, spider, deep delahiva, X guard, deep half guard, spider, all that, So I'm competent when it comes to guard. As we see, I swept him here. But what I don't like is that I will concede to playing on the bottom, which I believe now as to be disadvantaged. Even though I'm really good at guard, I believe now to be disadvantaged, just because I have gravity working against me now. He can use his weight in such a way that it is efficiently using his energy while I have to take on whatever he lays down whenever he's not using a post to keep himself standing, such as like when you're in combat base and a knee slide and somebody has their knee on your hamstring or your thigh, and they're resting that right leg, but you're trying to get them off of you using your hands and both of your legs when they're just, maybe using three appendages, or maybe not even that, they're just laying on your leg, and that's enough to smash somebody's guard and to pass somebody's guard. So I think it's very important for people not to concede to a takedown just because they think they're in an advantageous space or place in their guard game. You may be in an advantageous space if they take you down and you're able to get a Ashigarami or single leg X. But now you have to use a little bit more energy than you would if you were just throwing somebody's legs aside and falling on top of them, or them putting their hip into your leg and pushing the heel off. And now you have to transition into X guard. And, you're expending more energy even though you're comfortable in that position. You're aware of what you're supposed to be trying to do. Um, so I get the takedown, right? Okay, I get the takedown using a X guard, and I was trying to scoop his leg up here and kick it in that direction to make him fall backwards. Let's see. But he does a good job hopping forward. But that's okay because if I can't take him backwards, then I can take him forward. And as I did, I stood up. Right when I got up, I tried to take a leg drag position. Um, and right now I just have him stacked. His legs are crossed. So I grab his sleeve right there and I turn my hip to the side again using my weight. I do it poorly, but I'm not using a whole lot of weight right now, a whole lot of energy right now. Here's a poor armbar execution. It's terrible. And even then, if you look at my just body language after, I don't try to stand up. I'm not moving a lot. I feel very, very comfortable on the ground. Look at this. Just chilling. Just chilling. And partly because he didn't take advantage of my feet and my frames being faced away from him. I didn't have to move quite fast. Um, but also I'm very comfortable at in that position. It's a familiar position to me. So I didn't feel too worried even though I was on the bottom. I think he gets points because of that right now. I don't know why. To be honest, I tried to go for a arm bar. He didn't really sweep me. Back to playing guard. You'll notice at one point I allow my legs to get super extended. So I allow my legs to get extended here. Immediately, I bring them back in, right? You do not want to be extended. Easy way to get past, whether a leg drag, whether they take your legs down and do a Toriando. Bring your knees back to your sides, to your ribs. And because he's touching me, right, he's grabbing me, I'm able to grab him. I wouldn't be able to grab his sleeve if he didn't reach out for my legs. And as he does that, I'm able to recompose grips on him and a guard. I think what he should have did was step into me. He should have stepped into my thighs or grab under my legs and push them up, or grab and shuck them to the side. But don't be far away and just grab here. You got to commit to a pass. You got to commit to the pass. You can't play scared. Some people got really long legs. I understand that. Even still, you have to crash into them. You have to take up the space inside of their guard without them being able to establish the guard they want, per se. But he's playing safely. He's playing at a distance. It's not safe, actually. He's playing at a distance, but still giving me grips on him. So he's giving me space. And as a top player, you don't want the bottom player, the bottom guard player, to have space and grips on you. It's dangerous, because if they have space, that means you're stretched out when they have grips on you. Being stretched out and at length is not good. It's not safe for the top player. I get my spider grips, get a little De La Hiva, I thought. I think at this point, I'm going to start thinking to try to get X guard. So grabbing his ankle and then putting my foot on his hip and going into an X guard. But nonetheless, I think he's onto that. I could have done it if I had just went for it, I think. I don't know. Right into deep half. Trying to take the back. He almost does a Berimbolo, so I roll as well with him as to not be behind in the Berimbolo. This is where I am really uncomfortable now in this stand-up. Like, he has great grips on me. But it's all a balance game. And I play with people, if I feel like it's meta and overpowered. If you walk into me, I kind of walk back. If you pull me, I might come with you. I'm trying to figure out, like, and throw you off, right? If I walk backwards, I'm not going to walk backwards the whole match or the whole stand-up portion of our game. I might walk backwards, I might circle a little bit, then I might stop, then I might yank you down, then I might push into you, then I might let you push me and let you pull me. I'm trying to get you off your mental game, right? You have a move that you're trying to work, or a couple of moves that you're trying to work. I'm not going to allow you a second, not necessarily control. I'm not going to be within your game, within your familiarity, not even for a second. So if you're pushing me, expecting me to push back into you, I'm not going to do it. And then when you push me again, I might push back just a little bit, then I'll circle to the right. So don't be predictable standing up, and it's predictable that people snap your head down and you come back up. Well, that's what they wanted. They snapped your head down not to do any move, but so that you can pop up back up. They were trying to predict it, and now you've given them a shot into your legs. Pay attention and try to understand what they're trying to do so that you don't fall into their trap. And he does very well at getting inside control and trying to get me to be predictable for him. And then again, I think it's super overpowered. I don't think his game is a guard game. I don't think so. I don't think that's where he practices a lot. It may be so, but I don't think so. But I have him pulling guard, and that's not, I'm positive that's not how he saw himself rolling. Maybe he didn't at all. Maybe he was like, yeah, whatever, with play guard or take down or play top game. I'm cool with all. I don't think he was expecting to pull guard at least what 3 times now to pull guard as much as he did. But by me not playing to my strength, which is pulling guard, and frustrating him, not necessarily frustrating, but just stopping his game, interrupting his game, he's playing into mine because that's where I've been practicing for the past year, passing others' guards every day, every roll, passing a guard, passing a guard, passing a guard, if I can help it. And he pulls guard. Right? So I'm frustrating this game. Then he decides to pull guard, right? Terrible pull guard, by the way. Terrible pull guard. Do not pull guard by laying flat on your back, okay? If you're going to pull guard, put your feet in the position that you want. For example, butterfly guard. You want both of your feet on the inside. If you're going to pull collar sleeve, you want these grips, cross collar or same side collar and a sleeve, and you want your foot into their hips. If you pay attention to his legs, straight out flat on the ground, okay? And he's falling backwards, pulling me on top of him. Not good one bit. If I was any bit better, I would have immediately took my leg and knee cutted right through his knee, got my underhook, and had a pass. But I'm not that better. But if you look at this, his feet are supposed to be his first level of frames. Where are his feet? His feet are out here and down here. It would be so easy for me just to smash his knee down in that direction with my knee cut slide and fall on top of him and get the pass. You know? So I'm just shucking his legs out of the way, tossing him over. I end up coming to the top. Now my job is to get under his knee. And that's the roll.
Subscribe, mother looker.